Kyle Busch was a generational talent who rose to become a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion and one of the sport's greatest and fiercest drivers. Across 22 full-time seasons in NASCAR's top division, Busch won the 2015 and 2019 Cup Series titles and 63 races, 9th on the all-time series wins list.
Kyle Busch has been legendary today.
His numbers across the other two national NASCAR series were record-setting, with 102 victories in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and 69 wins in the Craftsman Truck Series. Busch was a proudly polarizing figure among fans, intensely popular with his adoring supporters, and booed loudly by his detractors.
If you don't like that kind of racing, don't even watch.
He entered the sport as a brash teenager with the nickname Shrub, as the younger brother to Hall of Famer Kurt Busch. But the moniker Rowdy, a nod to one of the main characters in Days of Thunder and to his aggressive style, is what stuck with him. A Las Vegas native, Kyle Busch followed many of the same steps that his brother did in accelerating up the racing ladder. Family go-karts on makeshift tracks and cul-de-sacs and parking lots. Then Legends cars at the Vegas Bull Ring, before a move to full-bodied late-model competition.
For us young drivers, we're thrown into the biggest series in all of racing. Sooner or later, you're going to have to get thrown in, so why not be sooner than later?
Busch drove for 3 Hall of Fame Cup team owners, getting his start in the series with Hendrick Motorsports as a heralded rookie in 2005. He joined Joe Gibbs Racing in 2008, establishing a long-running partnership that made him the face of Toyota's NASCAR endeavors. He spent the final stages of his career with Richard Childress, arriving in 2023 and taking the reins of the number 8 Chevrolet. Behind the wheel, Busch was an electric, daring performer with a fiery personality that thrilled fans and crushed competitors. His trademark winning celebration, a showman's bow, served as a tribute to his roots as a Las Vegas native, but also a flourish, like a magician appearing from the smoke of another triumphant burnout.
Yeah, baby, that's the way I do it.
Busch's sharp wit and competitive spirit sparked a deep emotional connection with race fans of every age, creating the proud and loyal Rowdy Nation.
You love you some Rowdy, let me hear you go, boo!
Busch's death from a severe illness was sudden, coming just 6 days after what turned out to be his final victory, a Truck Series race at Dover.
Take whatever you can get, man. You never know when the last one's going to be, so cherish them all, trust me.
He is survived by his parents and his wife, Samantha, and 2 children, 11-year-old son, Brexton, and 4-year-old daughter, Lennox. In recent years, Busch's great mission was guiding Brexton's blossoming racing career, coaching his son in the family business at racetracks across America. Kyle Busch was unmatched in the record books and unrivaled on the track, one of the best to ever drive a stock car. He was 41 years old.
Start your engines, hear the crowd. Talking racing now, we're revving loud. Yeah. From Daytona nights to Talladega days, we're chasing rumors, hearing what they say. Pit crews hustle, tires burning fast. News and whispers, nothing's gonna pass. Talking racing now, we're hitting the track. NASCAR stories, no looking back. Engines roar and the fans all cheer. Every lap we're bringing the latest here. From rookie rides to legends known, victory lanes and dynasties grown. We'll spin the tales, where speed's alive. Every week the racing vibes survive. Now we're hitting the track. NASCAR stories, no looking back. Engines
Welcome in to a special edition of Talkin' Racing Now. I am Sean Stanley. This is the great Spencer O'Neill. It is the greatest racing day of the year. The Indy 500 is about to get started. We got the Coca-Cola 600 going on tonight. The main story, though, is the unfortunate passing of the great Kyle Busch. And to get the show started, there's only one way to do it. That is to, remember back on what Kyle Busch meant to NASCAR. Spencer, thank you for joining me on a Sunday. And want to get your thoughts on the unfortunate and the timing of the passing of Kyle Busch.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know where you start with that, right? So obviously, I'm just a race fan. I don't know Kyle Busch. So I can't speak to Kyle Busch as a man. I can speak to him as a race car driver and what I saw on the track and the amazing amount of success. Over 200 wins in NASCAR altogether, 234 I think it is. More than any other driver when you go through the 3 series. And that includes beating Richard Petty's number of 200. Mm-hmm. So he's the winningest driver in NASCAR history. And he just, passes away what felt like randomly. And we all sort of understand now that this issue that he had, his sinus infection, became pneumonia and went septic, and that was it. But what a crazy way to go, right?
Well, especially
one day you're just in the sim, and then you go unresponsive and you don't come back. It's crazy.
And when you look at the drivers, again, they stay in pretty good shape, and it's like, man, and I know they've talked to a couple drivers. I know Chase Briscoe was one of them I saw reading through the notes where he actually had pneumonia at the end of last year, and his wife was like, get it checked out, and he was like, I'm good, and this and that. And even Joey Logano was it just makes you double think that back and go, and maybe I need to, just take that when this stuff happens.
Take this a little bit more seriously, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we need to take this a little more seriously. I mean, because again, these guys are out there biking, they're out there running, they're out there doing the things, to stay in shape to be a race car driver. And I get it, people, you can have your arguments of whether it's a sport, it's not a sport, but they are still, to me, athletes. The fact that they can go in a car, think about going in a car, and I get it, they got the air hose, but sometimes the air hose doesn't work. Driving 400 miles, no AC, basically no insulation in the car. You're just in a car, and wearing a fire suit and everything else. And then to hear that, it's like pneumonia and it turns sepsis. And then you go back and you think, okay, it was Watkins Glen. He is having a sinus infection. He asked for the shot after the race. He does that. He wins in Dover, the truck race. And you look at him, and he looks good. I guess there were some questions asked, and he said he still had a cough.
He sounded good, too.
Yeah, he sounded good, but I guess there were some things he said. I feel good. Just the cough still is. I saw some little clips of I guess people were reporting off of some of the interviews they had.
Yeah.
And then he goes on Tuesday. He's at the Mario Andretti go-kart opening, and he looks and sounds good. Then on, I guess it'd be Wednesday or Thursday is in the morning is when he does the simulator, and then everything kind of changes in a way, I guess. I don't know, but I guess, again, I'm going off of what their titles in their bio say. Everybody could be a doctor, an MD, and everything else, but looking at some of the, what the doctors in the medical field were saying was sometimes when you get that, it's a walking time bomb in a way. You're like, it's 50-50. It could go away or it could, turn into the situation. But, man, I just think, thoughts go to Samantha and Brexton and Lennox and, the family. And Kyle, Kurt, the brother, who's not really talked about a lot here, but it is his brother, and his mom and dad. I didn't realize, again, I know they're rather, they're 41, so they're still, Kurt's, I think, a little older, though, right? Kurt's up, in the late 40s, I think. So I didn't know the parents. And then when I read, in that clip from NASCAR, that was taken from NASCAR, all rights to them. Then you hear the parents too, and it's like, oh man, like, this is a terrible situation. And then, look, tie it back to NASCAR in a way, and again, I know this is really about Kyle and his family and everything there, but it's Richard Childress Racing again.
Yeah.
It's 2001 almost all over again, except this didn't happen on the track.
Yeah.
But everything is still like when they redid the car to the 33 and they're lowering it down from the 3 to the 29, the 8 to the 33. And it's just, man, Richard Childress, like,
they've essentially got a protocol for how this works now.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
And kudos to Richard Childress, by the way, by saying the 8 will never be used again until Brexton comes up to the series.
I had kind of mixed feelings about that statement. I mean,
I do too, because you're putting the weight of the world on this kid.
Right,
but
right.
You know what? I look at it this way, though, and I say, if there's one kid that's going to get a lot of stuff, not every opportunity, but you're going to get all these guys. Again, Kyle was the one at the track with them, with Brexton. Now, again, I don't know the whole dynamic of behind the scenes of NASCAR. I know how I felt about Kyle as a driver, and I know those feelings were different when you watched him with his son and you watched him interact, and as he's gotten more mature. And again, I used to like him too because he was Joe Gibbs, and when he left Joe Gibbs, it was kind of like, okay, all right, you're out, in that way. But you've watched him mature. You've watched him with Brexton's career. You've watched him race against Brexton. You just, it's just, you see all that. And now my thought goes to how many of these other guys are going to, again, you look at all the guys that, Kyle Busch helped.
Yeah.
In the trucks with Kyle Busch Motorsports. I mean, they put out the names.
Yeah, did you see that lineup of drivers that all got together?
Yeah, it was Bubba, it was Noah Gragson, it was
Daniel Suarez,
William Byron. Yes, I mean, you look at that list, and some of those guys, again, you give back what you get, and if Brexton does get, the NASCAR community behind him, and he's get all these guys, you know what, man, I hope he comes out and he just is dynamic, but also I don't want it pushed on him either.
Right.
If this changes something in him to where, you know what, I don't want to race because it reminds me, then so be it. In a way, that's, again, you got to let the kid grieve. You got to let him, he's young. He's very, very young. I just don't want him to be pushed either into, hey, we got a car ready for you, So that's where I am with the Brexton situation, because I think he's going to get a lot of support. At least it feels that way with the way the NASCAR, community is talking right now and everything. They've only released one statement from the family, and it was really just the cause of death, so that they could be transparent on that, because O'Donnell did say he's respecting the family, but they will stay as transparent as they can with the situation. And I feel like they have done that, as much as they can.
Yeah, the best thing to do in that situation is just to end the speculation, tell people what happened, get it over with. There's no reason, there's nothing shameful about what happened, and it's tragic, and it just reminds you, like, sometimes people just die.
Sometimes
people just die. It's crazy, and when they, hug your loved ones.
That's the thing, man. And the other thing that, like, I wish and I want to find out, and again, in time we will, but because he was at the simulator, so I'm guessing he's doing kind of like his work day. Mm-hmm. I know Brexton, I believe, was going to have a race, I believe. So I'm wondering, like, were they even in the area when all this was going down? Like, I don't know, man. I just hope they got to say, something that meaningful to them before.
Yeah.
That's all, man.
say something to him before he became unresponsive.
Yeah. Kyle Busch, 41 years old, and whether you liked him, you disliked him on the track, you couldn't talk bad about him as a father, a husband. He had the Bundle of Joy Foundation with his wife Samantha, which, again, if you're looking to support Kyle in any way, I would go there and donate. I know they've seen an uptick in donations from the NASCAR community. If you can, go there, help it out. It's the IVF is what they got very much into because of their own issues that they had with that. And again, it's one of those things that, hug your loved ones. You never know. The race, it's very eerie when you listen back to it and they ask him, why so much emotion away? He says, because you never know when it's your last one. And that turned out to be his last win. Rest in power, Kyle Busch, at the age of 41.
Can I say one more thing real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
So, for those that watch the show, you know this about me. For those that maybe have seen it for the first time, please understand this is a compliment. Kyle Busch was the king of pettiness. The absolute king. I love petty. It's one of my favorite things. Kyle was the king of petty.
All right, now we can, again, I don't know how to move on, honestly. It's one of those things to where, you just got to rip off the Band-Aid and be like, all right. One thing let's go into this before we go into because I don't want to jump from the Kyle Busch, passing away to what I was going to start with because I think it would just kind of mess everything up here.
You run the ship, boss. You tell me what you want to talk about.
No. I thought about it afterwards because I had it set up to how I wanted to do this, but I'll wait. Let's talk. I don't know if you've seen the comments about Joey Logano.
Okay.
And how a lot of people are seeing that maybe he was the biggest
beneficiary of win and get in.
There it is, beneficiary of win and get in because they really didn't start running good until the end. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. That's really what I wanted because I saw it and I was like, this is kind of because when you look at it back then, all you were trying to do was win and get in. That was the whole thing.
Right.
All we need to do is get the win at the track that we run well at, and then we'll figure out the playoffs because we're already in.
Right.
We can fix up. That was the whole, again, whether you wanted to say it was a strategy ploy or whatever, to me, that just says that Joey Logano was the best at using what he had to make it happen in a way. I mean, then again, he didn't, I think in the one year he didn't win anything, right? He never won a race. But he came in second, I think, in the Phoenix race to win the championship.
I thought that was Blaney.
Was that Blaney or was that Logano?
Was Blaney. I thought that was Blaney, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm probably wrong. You're the historian, man.
That was I thought that was Blaney 2 years ago. He got.
But I was looking back in the numbers and he didn't win a lot. Logano didn't win a lot until he got in the playoffs, and then he would win as he needed to. Oh, he's going to be out if he doesn't win. Oh, he gets the win. It's like he was a big beneficiary, but again. When you look at it, he did nothing. He played it by the rules, right? That's all you had to do.
Yeah, the rules were the rules. We all knew what they were. You play the game as it is, not as you want it to be. So I don't see anything wrong with it. But as far as him being a beneficiary of it, I would say probably so. Not only him, but not necessarily Ryan Blaney, but definitely Austin Cindric, definitely Ross Chastain, definitely.
Oh yeah, most of the guys at the
Austin
bottom.
Dillon.
Most of the guys at the bottom, I would say, but again, Logano won it twice, right? And the thing he didn't have one beforehand, right? It was the two during the win and in.
Yeah, that does seem to be a Penske strategy, right? Is sort of bring it all together at the end of the year. That's what they've been known to do for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Yeah, I would say so. Joey, not necessarily the face of Penske anymore. I would say Ryan is, but
Yeah.
being the face of Penske for quite a while, he is definitely. I mean, he's been there the longest at this point. He has to be, right? Yeah, I would say he's probably the biggest. The biggest beneficiary of winning it.
Well, and then especially when you look at this year and see how he's running too, right? It's like,
yeah. See, that's the part I'd have to go back and look at is,
and I think that's also the biggest part of why this is a story now, because if you look at it, all he needs is one win, and then he'd be in the playoffs, even though he's running terrible.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh man.
So I'd have to go look and see. Because this year has been rough, right?
Oh, rough.
Have the prior years been this rough? And I know that there was always victories towards the end. I don't remember it being this rough, though. This is...
No, I remember him being like
hard.
top 10s. And it's been top 10s and things like that, but never not even been... He hasn't even factored into stages this year.
You see him at the track, and sometimes he is just slow. Like, he's not even on pace.
Yeah, it's like they gave everything to Blaney and just left him on nothing.
Well, and I mean...
It's the whole Gordon, Johnson, Casey Kane thing all over again.
So, but even Cindric is on pace. Right? Like, Cindric had... He had some accidents towards the beginning of the year, but the last 4 or 5 weeks, he's been finishing races and finishing top 5, top 10, top 15, right?
Yeah.
Which is what you expect. But Joey just always seems to be either, in the back, and then he gets mired in some sort of issue, because when you're behind everybody, that means you got everybody to hit going forward.
Yeah.
I love how people talk about just hiding out in the back. Hiding out in the back works if you're all the way in the back, but then you also are likely going to get lapped at some point, right? Like
especially unless
you're a dangerous game to play.
Yeah, unless you're at a super speedway, then you stay in the back. That's really where you stay the danger.
But if you're holding on to the group and you're in the back, that means that when the accident happens, you got more cars to hit. I've never really understood that, but
Yeah. All right, now I'm going to go to the next story that I want to start with, but I didn't want to start with until after we did. I didn't want to start the Kyle Busch into this. Natalie Decker.
Okay.
Natalie Decker has been a big topic here lately. I'm going to play one. This happened in Bristol. The first one I play is from Bristol.
All right.
For us. Okay. So here we go. This is from Bristol. We'll be on the screen just so you know. The audio is playing from the video. The audio does not match the video, apparently, so I apologize for that, but I took these clips just trying to find some stuff. And again, context, I have no idea what's happening behind the scenes in all this. I'm just going off of what's happening on the track. Okay, I don't know all the situation of everything behind the scenes with the car owner, with driver, with spotter, with crew chief, with the series, anything there. This is all context from us as far as what we see on the track and what we're seeing from these clips. Here is Natalie Decker in Bristol.
Inside. We're wrecked. All right, bring it to pit road. I don't know how the fuck I call inside the whole way down the backstretch. We still drive to the bottom of the corner, getting into 3.
You got to listen to spotter. If you had came down when you're supposed to off at 2, this never would have happened.
Maybe just a little tight right in the center. The toe seems like it's back to normal. We're pretty close.
Well, I'm sure it's a little tight now when you knock the side of the truck off. You better start learning how to listen to your spotter.
That's a 02 ass pack. Just put her into the inside wall. Fire it up if you can here.
Take it to the garage. Turn left. Take it to the garage.
Oh my god, it fucking stopped!
Down here.
What the fuck? Push me back to the fucking garage, not 80 miles an hour.
I'm completely fucking lost right now. Like, I don't even know why I'm up here. She's out. I'm taking my shit off. See you guys later.
All right, that was from Bristol with interaction between her the crew chief and the spotter. At Bristol, you have to listen to your sponsor and you have to go. You can't.
Yeah.
Look, if they say inside, I don't understand why you're going and turning in. And there's going to be other situations. We're going to go to the next one here in a minute. But from just that right there, what does that tell you, Spencer?
So, there's audio from Dover, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go there
okay,
next. Yeah,
so,
next and then I got your guys talking also.
Yeah, so Bristol and Dover kind of have a similar thing going on for slow traffic, and that is there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a hard place to not race well because there's nowhere to hide. They're constantly passing you, high, low. They're all over the place, and there's just you never get a moment off. You're constantly in peril, right? And if you have a bad race, generally you can kind of fall to the back. They'll lap you, whatever. But like you can hide. You got some space. You got some time. You just run. They'll pass you every once in a while, but you're not constantly stressed by the fact that you are surrounded and getting consumed by everyone on the racetrack who is just faster than you, and there's nowhere you can go to get out of the way. There's no line that everyone will agree on that is like, this is where you go so that we can pass you. There's no space. There's no place. And I think what you're hearing from her there in that specific audio is, well, one, the tow truck pushing her and just pushing her up the racetrack. That shit's hilarious. I'm sorry. that's just funny. That's just the frustration of the whole situation, right? Like, she's stressed, she's overwhelmed. That happens to everybody. Obviously, there's a pattern there, so the spotter is done, and that's what you're hearing.
Yeah. I mean, and again, now we're going to go into, this is from Dover, and I'm going to go from Dover right into the podcast you love. Is it DBC? What is it?
Door Bumper Clear.
Door Bumper Clear. Yeah, DBC. I want to make sure I say it right because I don't listen to it all the time, but I love their clips and things there. But so it's going to go from this and then into that before we come back to talk about it. Okay?
All right, let's do it.
Didn't I go?
Keep it on the bottom. We got to make a pass-through penalty right here.
You guys, I'm trying my best to hold my shit together, but I don't want to keep doing this.
You're okay. We'll just do this faster and get after it.
We're going to have like 15 laps to go to this stage end. If you do not want to do it when you get back out here, you can bring it in, okay?
There's just so many shitty things that I could say right now, and I'm just trying to keep it together about the fucking director of the series.
Try to keep your composure and try to just breathe, and if you're not comfortable with this, come in. Let's remember what's on our truck and just bring it to the garage, right?
I feel like a fucking failure if I do that.
You're not. Let's do that. Drive it down to the garage.
There's so many things I want to say, and I'm probably going to get fucking suspended. You have no idea.
Hey, just pay attention to the spotter. He'll get you into the garage. It'll be okay.
I'm sorry, Josh. I'm not going to come back to the truck series. Derek can take it from here on out. I'm staying in the O'Reilly series. This series fucking sucks.
I hear you. I'll have a fresh bottle of water for you when you get out of the truck. Derek, we got to put something together for you for Nashville.
I was just talking about Natalie Decker. Obviously, the radio doesn't sound great.
I think what we heard there was somebody, I mean, it's emotions that we've all probably felt at some point, especially as women in racing, but also just anybody in racing. I think you kind of start to realize at a point that you're maybe in over your head. All of these emotions are coming at you of shame and pride, and then you start thinking that your brain almost spirals, and you start thinking about, oh, well, these people on social media are going to say this, or I'm letting this sponsor down, or this person. And for somebody like Natalie, who's been very outward about not caring, I think that, you know, if that's the realization is having in this moment, that's why the emotions were even heavier, because she was admitting to herself that she was in over her head. For that, I honestly commend her.
Dover is one of the hardest places not to be good. Anybody can get out of control in their mind when that stuff's happening. I mean, we had a meltdown with Cody yesterday. It's a tough place to bring somebody that doesn't have much racing experience.
I want to see Natalie running Hickory or Tri-County every week.
Yeah.
I don't want Natalie racing once every 2 months. I want her family to create this schedule that's just racing.
Spencer, your thoughts on it all, and where do you stand right now with, and again, here's another thing that's not really brought up here. The truck races that she raced in, especially Dover, there were other trucks that couldn't get in because qualifying was not allowed for whatever reason. So it was by truck owner points or whatever it is.
Yep.
So she got in when other trucks were not allowed. That may have ran better because in practice they were better than her. And then it's funny because I feel like, what's her name? Is it Casey? What's the lady's name on DBC?
Carson.
If you look at her, I feel like she's done a 180 on Natalie Decker. Because before she was like, you can't do this because as a woman driver, you're giving a bad name. Now it's, I commend her because she's admitting that I guess she's in over her head and now she's realizing it.
Yeah.
So what are your takeaways on the whole situation? Because I agree with, that was Martin there, or was that Burton? That was Burton or Martin? Which one did at the end there?
That was Kenny.
That's Kenny Wallace?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, that's Herman.
Was it?
Yeah, that's Kenny.
I'm so used to seeing in the morning with the coffee. His hair's all like.
Yeah, no, that was Kenny Wallace. Kenny Wallace was on this week.
That's what he looks like, cleaned up. Damn, he cleans up good.
Yeah, that was
Christ.
Kenny.
But you know what? I should know that because of his voice. Actually, now I think about it, now that I heard the voice again in my head, I'm like, yeah. Actually, it's coffee with Kenny. But when you sit there and you do that, like why is she not getting them more practice? That's on her, though. Go to simulators. Go, and I get it. Simulators aren't the end-all, be-all, but at least it gets you in the framework of, because, I mean, I get they said, Cody had a breakdown there, but it feels like this is a weekly, or at least every time she's in a truck type of thing.
Yeah, no,
when it's not going good. And again, I get it. She's not in probably the greatest equipment. As you said, she's on 2 courses that are not the greatest. When you don't have good equipment and you're just sitting there getting, ran down by everybody lap after lap after lap. I get that. But at some point, though, you have to understand that you are a race car driver, and that takes a little bit of mental toughness in a way to me that I'm not seeing.
Yeah, to me, the truck is different, right? The truck's a little wild. The truck's a little loose. The truck slides a little bit. It gets wide a little bit. The drafting is different. It's a different vehicle, obviously. It's a fucking truck. And I think she just doesn't want to drive a truck. Maybe she just wants to drive the car. I guess that's what she's saying.
Let me ask you this, though.
I don't know how she thinks she's going to get in the O'Reilly series if she can't race the truck series, though.
She's in the O'Reilly series now, but listen to this, Spencer. And this is where...
When is she in the O'Reilly series? I never see her.
Again, she's done 15 races over 6 years. But
right.
But listen, though. But you're not going to get that opportunity when you have 5 starts, your average finish is 30th.
Right.
3 starts, your average finish is 31st. 2 starts, it's 34th. Her best was in 2025. She had 1 start, finished 22nd. She's had 2 starts this year, average finish of 33rd. She's had 13 starts in the truck race in 2020. She had 1 top 10, finish 26.2. Her average finish in 2 starts this year is 35th.
Yeah.
I mean, even in ARCA, her best finish in points in ARCA, and I guess they kind of just leave it open because of how many races you do, and she did not do a lot of races, so this is probably skewed a little bit, but she was 47th in points.
Right.
I mean, when you look at it, okay, here you go. Career snapshot, Natalie Decker, Truck Series, 34 starts, 1 top 10, best finish 5th in Daytona 2020. O'Reilly Xfinity, 15 starts, 0 top 10s. ARCA, 31 starts, 12 top 10s, 1 pole. Best season finish was 7th. Highest finishing female driver in Truck Series history with the 5th at Daytona. Now they did
Yeah, why is she not in ARCA every week?
I don't know, but they did the whole thing like top female NASCAR National Series performers historically. It's weird because it goes Danica Patrick 1, Shauna Robinson 2, Haley Deegan 3, Joanna Long 4, Jennifer Jo Cobb 5th, Natalie Decker 6th. She ranks last out of those 6.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, like why is she not in ARCA? Like I don't understand. Like, how do you not?
ARCA. Could you imagine if ARCA actually had some of the people in there that should be running it all the time?
Yeah.
Like Cletus is there a lot now, right? Cletus should be there every week. His buddy Squirrel McNutt, he should be there every week, and he is there a lot. Natalie Decker should be there every week. I mean, you know, there's a log jam at the top. There's very few seats getting into the Cup Series. So we've seen the quality increase over the last couple of years in the O'Reilly Series. I mean, now those spots are kind of getting a little tough to get to. It's not like you can just go to the O'Reilly Series. What makes you think someone's going to put you in a car in an O'Reilly Series?
Not a good car. You could
Especially,
do your own. I mean,
and I'm sorry,
and that
like,
might be part of the problem is like they're using her name and recognition for bad equipment, and that's going to hurt even more. Like,
can we also call it what it is, though?
As a family, you've got to sit there and say, this isn't what's best for her because you're just running her out of the series, and you're making her look terrible.
She quit.
I know.
Can we just call it what it is? She quit. She's a quitter.
Quit. Yeah.
You're not putting a quitter in a race car. Get her out. Yeah. She needs to go run and get ready, or just stop. She's not ready. She's clearly not ready, and that's okay. But if you're not ready, you should be out racing. And I don't know if she is or isn't, but that interview with Kenny there would indicate to me that she's not running the schedule she should be running.
No, because I feel like the family's just using it as we put her in a car twice every other month. She gets paid. She's got sponsors. We're good.
Well, it's not going to last much longer.
That's not going to happen because
it's not going to last much longer. Yeah,
at some point, you got to have results. Like, it's not going to just be, hey, here you go. Like,
yeah, hot girl summers don't last forever.
No. And then supposedly, I think the Derek that's named there is her husband, by the way.
Okay.
Derek, the other driver, is kind of what I was reading from the investigators on X.
She's like,
yeah. But her husband's name is Derek, and he is a driver. So, but I don't know.
Just put my husband in the car. He'll drive it.
Yeah. He'll drive anything. He'll drive anything. He like it. All right, let's go. Let's talk some racing here. Let's look at Dover, the dominance by my man Hamlin. Even though I didn't pick him, I gave you some points this week.
Got it.
So your thoughts on the Dover race?
All right, so I'm going to go to O'Reilly's for a minute. I sent you the clip. Did you see Corey Day diving into the gray?
Yes.
So that was an epic end of that race. That was the best race I saw all weekend. The All-Star race kind of sucks.
Yes.
By the time we got to the end of it, half the field was wrecked, and it wasn't really full of All-Stars, and they were begging people to come out onto the track so they had enough cars. I think there might have been one or two cars that were eligible to go forward because they were supposed to bring.
Well, the other thing too
there's supposed to be like 6 or 7 open spots, right? And it ended up being like 9 or 10.
Yeah, and then the other thing that I thought was kind of like, so you had these other guys that had to finish the main spots 1 and 2. Like Hamlin, even Hamlin's, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Kyle Larson that wrecked in the first one. I get it, he was a wreck. But then he sits out for the whole rest of that stage and the second stage to come back and be on even footing?
Yeah, well,
For the third, then why even rate? If I'm Hamlin, why am I even doing 1 and 2?
I don't know why I don't know why the top 19 are out there at all. If you're going to run an open, run an open.
Yeah.
And then whoever is in the open, it qualifies and gets in.
And since you had 6 or 7 spots, you take the top 4 from the first time.
Yeah.
And then they race again. You take the 3 winners that time, and there you go. That's your
Also,
All-Star
the race
race.
is
The race at 1 o'clock. The race at 1 o'clock is terrible, by the way. There's no feel to it at all. That race felt like a regular race. There was nothing All-Star about it.
Yeah, so it was too long. That a 200 lap All-Star race for a mile. That's a 200-mile race. And then that was the main stage was the 200 miles, right? Like, not to mention the 75 and 75 prior. Yeah. So I mean, essentially, it was a full-size race. It was like 350 miles. We cut 50 miles off of the race and called it an All-Star race, and I didn't like it. I like the All-Star race. I
think you should go back to Charlotte and give them 2 weeks at home.
So we'll find out today. We'll find out today if they should go back to Charlotte. And here's why. Charlotte hasn't been great initially with the next-gen car.
All right.
It hasn't been. They left for a reason because the race wasn't good. Last year, Charlotte kind of gave us something.
Yeah, but you can't tell me that Dover was any better than what you would have. At least at Charlotte, you get speeds.
I thought. I mean, I enjoyed Dover. I liked Dover. Like, I really enjoyed the O'Reilly race because it was a normal race, right? It was a point series race. It was competitive. I would have liked to have seen that with the Cup Series, but by the time we got through all the shenanigans, it was just kind of like messed up. And honestly, I was ready for it to be over.
But why don't they go to a track that nobody has been on, like they do the Clash lately? I mean, because here's the thing: you go to Dover, Denny's pretty good at Dover. There's other racers too that are pretty good at those tracks. If you go to a road course, SVG, you got guys there. Why not go to a course that, just for the All-Star race, like they do the Clash? Why not go and do it at where nobody's got necessarily a heads up on it? It's just, we're going to go out there and it's going to be a race. I get it. They got to go and make sure it meets NASCAR's criteria. I understand that. But then it's not, Denny can dominate at this track, SVG can dominate at this track, and just actually make it what it is. Like, it's an all-star race and just go 100 laps and the winner is the winner and you get $1 million. I just, you can do the heat races like they do the Clash. You can set up and go, man.
So, all right, a couple of things there. First off, $1 million isn't enough money. Nobody cares. I'm pretty sure they win more than $1 million when they win a race normally. So, like, what are we even talking about? Nobody cares about your $1 million check. Like, it needs to be higher. If you want to put something to it, like, it needs to be more than $1 million. I think Dover gives us good action. And when an all-star race, what you're looking for is action, right? That's what I was saying. That's why they left Charlotte. Is in the next-gen car, we weren't getting very good and entertaining races at Charlotte. Last year we had an entertaining race. Today we're going to find out if we have an entertaining race. And I think we might go back to Charlotte. That would be cool. But the format of it and the length of it, it wasn't enjoyable as a product. But I don't think that's Dover's fault. Because we saw good racing at Dover. Hell, we saw good action at Dover even from the next-gen car. Like, there was enjoyable parts of it. It was just the whole product itself. Not the action, but the product itself.
The race on the track was okay. It just wasn't all-star type to me. Nothing about that race said all-star. It just said race.
Right, and
that's kind of my issue.
The all-star race is supposed to be at night, right? Like, we got this 1 o'clock thing. I don't know if they can race at night at Dover or not. I think they can. I don't know why not. I mean, obviously the question is, do they have lights or not? But I thought I saw lights. I don't know. I guess I didn't look very hard.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't look at all to see if there was lights.
Yeah, I don't particularly remember if we've raced at Dover at night or not. I guess I just never really thought about it, but yeah, I don't know. All in all, I didn't enjoy it. I don't think it's Dover's fault. I think Dover was fun. Like I said, that O'Reilly race with Corey Day and Justin Allgaier at the end, and just absolutely diving into the corner.
But you've stated this before with the O'Reilly. It's better racing every week. No matter where they're at, it's better racing than what you're seeing on Sunday.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
Almost every time, yeah.
Yeah.
It's because in O'Reilly's there's some variance in the cars, right?
Yeah, yeah, true.
It's a little bit more of what we would have expected from prior iterations of the Cup Series, where everybody is so close right now. Yeah. And when everybody's so close, it's hard to pass, and it's hard to advance. Although some people seem to be able to pass quite fine, so I always hear it's hard to pass, but then you see Ryan Blaney pass 50 people. So, like, is it really hard to pass?
Well, I think, is when Blaney's passing the guys, he's always coming from the back. So you're passing those guys that can't really compete with you.
Right.
Because he's
constantly giving those spots up and having to get them back.
Yeah, and not to take anything away from Blaney, because once he gets through the top 10, he still slices and dices and moves up, just not as quickly as moving up to the top 20. But I think that's also where – and we talked about Kyle Busch, rest in peace earlier, is the early in his career, Kyle Busch would have been the guy bumping and pushing you up out of the way and everything else. Carson Hocevar. Well, no, but
What about a week ago?
Yeah, but he has calmed down a lot more in the Cup car than a truck and thing like that. I mean, it felt like he was different. He was a different beast when he got into Cup and the O'Reilly or the trucks than he was when he was in Cup. It felt like it was a different Kyle in those iterations there. But Hocevar, you got guys that will push people and do what they got to do to get out of the way. But I do feel like the racing has really gotten to where it's very calm.
The cars are so durable too.
And when you saw Logano the other day, it was odd because he was like, I can't remember what race it was, man. He was out early, so I think it was like one of the speedways, and he was just like, I felt like, it was too early, but then I saw the spot, and I was like, I needed to take it, but I knew it was early, but I still wanted. It's like, it feels like there's a lot of still unknown, I guess, maybe with the Gen car, where you feel like you can do something and you're not able to do it. But then when you're in a interview, you can't say, well, I tried to make it work with the Gen car and it didn't work this time or something. I don't know. It's odd to me where you see certain things happening throughout the track and you're like, man, that looks like he could have got there. And even when like Harvick and Boyer are sometimes looking at it, they're like, that feels like he should have got there and he didn't. What happened? Where'd the car stall out or whatever? It's odd things that happen with the Gen car that might not necessarily be drivers' issues, but there's just somehow like wind gets off and they drop the drag back and then they come way. It's
the drag, man.
It is a very interesting thing to where they haven't figured out the car yet. Like,
it's the drag, dude. The car is constantly fighting speed. It is constantly trying to get slower, and they are constantly trying to push past that. The drag is incredible on this vehicle. And that's because it's got so much horsepower. It's relatively light. NASCAR felt they had to slow it down somehow. So they created a ton of drag. Yep. So this is what you get.
The Indy 500 has started. Palau, Rossi, Ferrucci, your top three right now on lap 2. So just underway in the Indy 500. Let's talk about today's racing. We have the Indy 500 is underway now. We have the Coca-Cola 600 tonight at 6 p.m., we hope.
Yep.
A lot of weather's been there, been affecting a lot of things. They got the
trucks off this morning, though.
The trucks did get done. They had a time limit of 12 o'clock so that you could flip over to watch a little bit of the Indianapolis 500 festivities. And this day of racing, man, as a racing fan, it's cool. We've talked about it numerous times where we would like to see more of this happening on race weekends. They are doing it, I believe, in where was it? They did it once already, and I think there's another one coming up where you're going to get an Indy and NASCAR kind of coming together.
Yeah, so the Truck Series and Indy went to St. Pete to start their seasons.
That's right. They did St. Pete.
Which was super cool.
Yeah. And so I want to get your thoughts, and talk about the Coca-Cola 600 tonight. I guess, what can we expect? I mean, there's going to be heavy hearts.
Jewel. It's a crown
There's
jewel.
going to be heavy hearts. It's a crown jewel. It's emotions are going to be running high.
It's the World 600, baby.
Yeah, will they be able? I mean, again, now you got to look at it and go, is weather going to be? And again, I haven't looked at a radar. I don't know, but I'm sure all the teams are looking at it now, going, okay, we might only get 400 of this 600 in.
Right.
Let's make sure we get the best 400 that we can get, and then if the weather does hold off, what happens there? There's going to be a lot of interesting situations happening throughout this Coca-Cola 600. And again, the longest race for NASCAR, the longest race day for fans. If you start watching Indy 500 and you go, Catherine Legg is the only one this year trying to do the double.
Yep.
Right now, I don't see her on the thing there right now. I know she's running the race, but I don't see her place right now.
Is she sponsored by Elf Beauty Products and Indy also? Do you know?
I don't know. I believe she is, maybe.
Yeah, I thought they were sponsoring her in both. So yeah, what to expect? You can expect a track with a lot of lanes. There's about 3 lanes you can run. You want to run the bottom. It seems like this weekend, the speed is on the bottom. I haven't seen anybody really successfully running up high and finding those little bits of speed. It seems as though the bottom has been the way to go. That could be track temperature, the lack of sun. I'm not sure, but it does seem like the speeds at the bottom, the shortest way around the track. It seems as though it's probably going to be a little hard to pass because everybody's going to be clogging up the bottom, and you can't really outrun them on the outside. Everything I saw from the O'Reilly race yesterday and the trucks today is if you're trying to run that middle lane, you're essentially just falling back slowly, right? You're slowly bleeding. It's like playing, roulette and not really getting off the table when you should. You just slowly move, lose, right? I think that if we get a full race, somewhere around lap 450, you're going to see someone, an elder statesman, if you would, sort of start to make their way forward. There are going to be some cars that are going to wear out. There are going to be some drivers that are going to wear out. There's this these people are trained. They're used to running a certain amount, and they're going to get to lap or mile 500, and they're going to feel like the race should be over, and it's not. They still got 100 miles to go, and it's not only 100 miles; it's the most important 100 miles. So. I think experience is going to come into play. You're going to get somebody like a Brad Keselowski or a Denny Hamlin or somebody that maybe hasn't been having the strongest day kind of make their way forward. And I expect to see I expect to see a name we know on victory lane today.
All right. Speaking of victory lane, our points. Sean Stanley, this guy still in the lead at 90. Spencer came back strong last week, got 11 points.
That's right.
They picked the winner, my guy, Denny Hamlin, and had a 10th place finisher for 11 points.
It was nice.
73.
I remember who it was. It was so we had to choose a driver that wasn't one of the 19. And I came in with Alex Bowman, who not only qualified, because everybody qualified that wasn't wrecked, but he got 9th, so he got me a point. So yeah, that was the pick that got me a points there. So I'm now within 20 of you.
Yeah, you are. And you get the first pick, by the way.
All right.
Because I did go first last week because I won the toss.
So, Charlotte. Give me Byron. I want William Byron.
I'm taking Hamlin, last week's winner.
Tyler Reddick.
I'm going to go with last year's winner. I think it was Kyle Larson, I believe, won last year. So I'm going to go with Larson again.
And then I want Chris Buescher.
I'm taking the 33. I just
Austin?
want to do it. Austin Hill. Yep.
All right, let's see what he can do.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to do it. I felt like it's one of those things like what happened with 2001, right? It was it the second race after when Harvick, or was it the race after when Harvick won?
Wait, sorry, say it again?
When Harvick won, what was the second race or the third race after Senior's passing in the 29?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know that one.
Can't remember what race.
The only thing I remember about the season was, Mikey and Junior running 1 and 2 again, not only at the Daytona 500, but then switching that and Junior winning at the Coca-Cola 400.
Yep.
But the rest of that season, I honestly have no memory of it as far as
it was
what
3
happened.
weeks.
I know Harvick came in and drove it. I think they changed the number to what, like 29 or something?
Yeah, it went from 3 to 29, and 3 weeks after he won at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
That's cool. I didn't know 11th.
that. Yep.
Well, we know there's another spot now.
There we go. Hold on a minute. Why am I can't find you now.
I'd be interested to see if Austin Hill keeps that spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I do wonder if it's going to be his seat. That's again, it's one of those things to where I remember when Kevin Harvick came in, I said, "Oh, that's going to be," and look what Kevin Harvick turned into, man. I mean, it's one of those things to where,
yeah, but
that pressure is either going to build you or it's going to break you.
I would say this though, I don't think.
And you watch the documentary, it almost broke Harvick.
Yeah. Yeah, but Kevin Harvick was coming in to drive equipment that was proven winning.
Yes, true. Yeah, you're not. Yeah.
You know,
I get you.
The RCRs had a couple of good weeks.
Yeah, we have talked about the problems with RCR leading up to all of this. Yeah,
but they've had a couple of decent weeks, right?
They have.
But they still haven't been winning. So I don't think there's any expectation on Austin to do better than like 20th.
Yeah, I think if he does a top 15, that's a great day.
Yeah, just keep the car clean.
Yeah,
finish
especially again, as you just discussed. You're talking about Austin Hill, who hasn't really ran a lot of Cup, coming up now and running the longest race of the year.
Yeah,
but think about Austin Hill. His cutoff is probably 3-4, maybe 350 miles in the O'Reillys, and now you're coming up.
He's gonna double his race time.
Yeah, just tonight.
Absolutely.
And it's like, it's tough, man. And I don't know how these teams do it, man, because that car was already, I believe it was Thursday when all this happened. The car had to have already been
it was ready
to the track or on the way to the track when they had to make all the adjustments. And I'm sure Austin Hill's been at the things. They probably have seats for him in case he's got to fill in for the drivers or whatever. So I'm sure that, but again, now that car is really fixated for Kyle and the way he drives. Now you got 45 minutes yesterday.
I was about to say, they did get a little bit of practice, thank God.
Yeah.
Little,
now
but they got some.
And now you're going to have to set it up for Austin Hill. And again, I don't know how close they are driving wise, but I know Kyle Busch is pretty much in a category of his own on something. So
I don't remember Austin Hill driving a Cup Series car before.
Yeah, I try to think about that too.
I don't remember this ever happening before.
I don't remember hearing Austin Hill at all, unless he came in on somebody like.
I'm sure he has, but
one-shot deals where
it can't be more than like once or twice, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're handing him the keys to the kingdom and see what he can do with it in a very long race.
Yep, 100%.
Your goal is just to finish the race today, big guy. You just finish, and then whatever happens, happens.
That is it. Let's see here. What else we got to discuss? I think that's about it. There's one thing I did want to show you. So hopefully you'll bow with my stupidity on this one.
Sure.
Because I saw this, man, and it cracked me up, bro.
Okay.
This one cracked me up. Hold on a minute. I got to get you into the scene here. Hold on a minute. I got to add you so you can be there with me here. Sorry, it's taking a couple seconds here. Try to make it work. All right. So, at Indianapolis, they do a thing called the Weenie 500.
Okay.
And I don't know, have you seen this?
Is it the Oscar Mayer
hot
wiener
dog,
cars?
Oscar Mayer dog? Yes. Now, here is just a small clippet of the racing action that happened on, I believe, Wednesday at the Weenie 500. And let me tell you something. Best announced team ever. Here we go.
Sliding out, though, and having a look. Seattle Dog making a move. That's a block, Townsend. That's absolutely a block.
That is a dirty wiener. I just don't think I can endorse that kind of behavior.
They were buns to buns.
I mean, it gets no better than that. A nasty wiener.
It's a dirty, dirty wiener.
Dirty wiener, man.
Dirty, cheating wiener.
Bun to bun racing. Man, I mean, good stuff there. And I appreciate
that was good. I enjoyed that.
I love that stuff, man. And that's going to become a new thing on us. We're going to break down. If you see anything on the net, X, anything like that, send it over to me. We're gonna pull it off and do some of that, and also get some of our topics off of some of the things that we're getting there from the fans. Spencer, let them know where they can get you, man. I appreciate you, and we went over an hour, so I apologize.
All good. Hey, the thing takes as long as the thing takes. So you can find me on X at NoDoubt87. You can find me here at Talkin' Racing Now. For a couple more hours, you can find me here in Dade City, which is not in Miami-Dade. It's near Zephyr Hills. But, hanging out, just doing Memorial Day weekend with my buddy and his family and my family, doing pool stuff. But at the moment, I'm talking racing now, sorry. So, yeah, that's where you can find me. NoDoubt87 on X. Hit me up.
There it is. You can check me out at SS_Sports Talk on X, Stanley Media House Network everywhere else, and of course Stanley Media House Network right here on YouTube. And before we leave, tomorrow is Memorial Day, so I want to send out Happy Memorial Day. And remember, this Memorial Day, everybody who has fought and the ultimate price, the sacrifices, the military member, the families, and everyone has done. That's what this day's about, memorializing and remembering the fallen. So our thoughts and our thank yous to those that have given the ultimate sacrifice. Spencer, I know I'm putting you on the spot here. I forgot to tell you about this, but anything you want to add there?
No, I was just looking behind me. Hold up.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I was like, I think that's my buddy's grandfather's flag, I guess. I was looking at it. So, well, look at that thing. Nothing to add, just hug your loved ones. Remember those who made it so we can be here the way we are.
There you go. For the great Spencer O'Neill, I am Sean Stanley. Be on the lookout. Check us out on our X's. Let you know when the next Talkin' Racing Now will be. Until then, in the words of the great Spencer O'Neill,
Talkin' Racing Now.
Talking racing now, the best show